From the window to the wall. We're going to knock down, make some space, and we're going to put in a nice little breakfast nook. It's going to look really awesome.
I like that.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Whatever with Jason Soto, the comedy podcast that did the one thing Meatloaf wouldn't do for love. I am your host, Jason Soto. I am back with friends. I told you I had friends, you guys. I told you. Let us welcome the return of Lisa Sally Haynes. Hello, Lisa.
Hey,
You're
how's
back.
it going?
Welcome back. I missed you. I missed you.
I missed you guys.
I missed my buddy, my pal. And today we have a guest. He is the co-host of Lyrical Innuendo, which you can find at rabbitholepodcast.com. It's Bubbawheat. Hello, Bubbawheat.
Hey, it feels like it's been forever since I've been on this show, but it feels like I've talked to you both quite a bit since then.
Yeah, I think both of us has appeared in various forms of other podcasts, but you have not been on Whatever in a while. That is for sure. That was why I wanted to rectify that, since we have a opening. Bear is finishing up their schooling, and so this is Lisa could probably attest to this, being a college professor in North Carolina. This time of year is really busy for college students. Am I right, Lisa Sally Haynes?
It's kind of crazy at this time of year. Absolutely. Lots of exams and final papers and the things.
Yes. So Bear will be back probably. Yeah, maybe I won't say next week. I don't know. It's hard to say, but they'll be back at some point. So if you only listen to the show because of Bear, keep listening. But they'll be back.
Yeah, they'll be back.
They'll be back. They'll be back, you guys. They'll be back.
They'll be back.
They'll be back. Hey, Bubba, since you're the guest, I'm going to have you pick. What ad do you want to hear first? Do you want the Run P ad or do you want the Audible ad?
Let's go with Run P.
Run P. Why Run P? This is a wonderful app that I made all of you guys download because, they're friends of ours, and not Lisa already had it, but everyone else I made download.
Thank you. I wanted credit where credit is due.
Everyone else in Rabbit Hole, I had to break into their house and steal their phones and put the app in there. So you're welcome, Dan from Run P. I did that. Anyway, it is an app. You go, you can download it absolutely free onto your Android or iOS device, whichever you prefer. And you go to the movies. This weekend, I am going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And Lisa doesn't care because she does not like the MCU.
No, I didn't say that. I actually like Guardians, but I've been deciding whether or not I want to go see this. For whatever reason, I don't feel a pull for this one. That's
interesting because this one has a lot of buzz around it. Everyone is this is probably the best one yet. This is James Gunn's last Marvel output he's going to be doing. This is the last time the Guardians are possibly going to be on film. I don't know. I mean, that's hard to say, right?
I think
I actually feel the
believe
same way.
any of that particular bullshit. I think that that's not actually going to come out to be true. Because these movies, and I say this with the utmost love and respect, they don't go away. So I do not believe for a minute that this would be the last one. I just don't. They're not going away. So I kind of feel I could see it now. I could see it later. So I don't know.
What were you saying, Bob?
Well, I think that I don't think that they'll come back as another movie, but maybe some of the Guardians, some of the characters will show up in later Marvel movies. Just
that is
depending
possible.
On which actors want to come back, because I know Dave Bautista has said that now that James Gunn is gone, he's done with the MCU and he has no interest in playing Drax again.
Yeah,
but I'm also kind of with Lisa. I'm not feeling the buzz, even though I'm hearing it's the best. The best Guardians ever and all this other stuff. And I do want to go see it, but I'm not super hyped for it.
Right.
Wow. I thought you, of all three of us, would have been all over this. Okay. Well, anyway, when I go see Guardians on Sunday, for you listeners, that's going to be yesterday. I am going to bring up my RunP app, and it's going to tell me when during Guardians of the Galaxy is a good time for me to go to use the bathroom if I need to go, which I probably will. It's going to be a long movie. And it'll tell me, you know, what's happening during those scenes, tells me how long I got until like the next action-packed scene happens. All that good stuff. It's a great app. It's a lot of fun. We're now BFFs with the app designer.
They're super cool people.
Super cool people. And yeah, so you should go download it right now if you haven't already. Bubba, you already got it because I broke into your house 6 months ago. And
downloaded it on your phone for you.
Yeah, so everyone in Rabbit Hole already got it. And then but if you out there listening, you know, movie theaters are back. So I don't see an excuse why you shouldn't be downloading it. So go get that today. Now Audible. You can go to audibletrial.com/rabbitholepod and you can try Audible absolutely free for 30 days. You can download any audiobook, original show, or podcast that Audible has. And after 30 days, you just pay $14.99 a month and you get access to more audiobooks, original shows, or podcasts. If for whatever weird reason you want to cancel Audible, don't fret. Anything you've downloaded, you get to keep. It is absolutely yours for the rest of your life. So you can hand this off to your great granddaughter, and they will forever have this audiobook that you downloaded. I want some fucking credit for doing that without breaking, Lisa. You're never impressed with anything I do.
No, it's not even that I was very impressed with you. I was very impressed with the string of greats. It was a great string of greats. But I feel like Audible probably won't be around that long. So the
hey.
I don't know.
They give us money.
They do.
Audible gives us money.
Well,
God
that's
damn
good
it.
because I give them money, so it's nice that they reciprocate.
So don't talk negatively.
I'm not.
Jeff Bezos is going to show up at your house and throw
Bezos
Kindles at you.
Bezos is going to show up and shake my hand for giving him as much money as I have. Holy hell.
And then he's going to turn around and chop it off with the machete. He's going to show up because you're talking bad about one of his products.
Never.
Anyway.
With
Audible
his
Trial.
Lex Luthor super suit.
Yeah.
That I'm sure he has.
He's just gonna come in a helicopter. He's just gonna come down a ladder.
Yeah. He's just gonna drop something on me from his drone.
Jeff Bezos, the person most likely to become Lex Luthor.
I mean,
so would that make?
Is there something? Wait a minute. I have a question. Is there something to it that the same actor has played both Zuckerberg and Luthor?
Oh.
I mean, he might as well play Bezos next.
Yeah.
Could be.
That's a good point. audibletrial.com/rabbitholepod. Using that link helps us out here at the network and shows you support independent podcasts. All right, Bubba. Hey, you've been obsessed with something the last day or two. And you keep mentioning it. And we're going to talk about it because here's the thing. I think I'm going crazy. I think this thing already happened. And then when I looked it up, I saw that it did happen. So this is just proof that we're just in a weird Matrix time circle thing. A banana got eaten.
What was that? No, I would like to go back to see that Reddit page, please.
No.
Did you see it, Bubbawheat?
Barely. I couldn't quite read it fast
saw
enough.
something that said how to quit porn. I am throwing you right under the bus.
Lisa, if you ruined the show like Rob did, I'm also going to put you in the lawsuit. So, okay. I swear I was going crazy. There was a art installation that someone taped a banana to a wall and then somebody ate it. And Bubba brought this to our attention in our group chat the other day. And I said to myself, that already happened. Why are you talking about old news, sir? And then when I looked it up, this is indeed 3 days ago. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening to me? So I looked it up. And it did indeed happen in 2019. Apparently, you cannot tape a banana to a wall in an art museum without somebody trying to eat it. Now, Bubba, why are you obsessed with this story?
I mean, I think obsessed is a little bit too much, but I think it's
You're
just
obsessed.
because it's been like plastered all over my feed. I think it's because, I clicked on one news article and then, with all the cookies, it showed up on all my other news feeds 10 more times because they're like, oh, if you're interested in this story, then you must want to read this story again. So I kept seeing this story everywhere on my phone, and my thought was just like you. It's like, why is this such a big story when it's a complete non-story? Because this happened, like you said, in 2019.
Yes.
It was not a big deal because it's not about this, it's not like it's a Picasso. It's not like it's a one of a kind and, he destroyed it and it's gone forever.
Uh-huh.
This is like a conceptual art piece.
Yes.
And, you can argue the merits of whether or not it's art or not. Like I don't care about that sort of thing, but it's about the concept more than the actual tape and the banana, because it is an actual real banana. And so whatever museum is displaying this art piece, they have to refresh it every few days so it doesn't, rot on the wall.
Right.
And so it's somebody eats it, they just replace it. It's not that big a deal.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, and the only reason why I remember this happening, you guys are going to laugh. My dad made fun of this back in 2019. Shout out to my dad. He taped a taco to his wall and then took a picture of it and put it on his Instagram.
He's awesome.
Your actually, the best. If you give me a minute, I can try to find the picture. But I'm with Bubba. Lisa, what are your thoughts on this?
As far as taping a taco to the wall?
No, taping a banana to the wall and then calling it art, and then someone eating it, and then it becoming a big giant news story.
Actually, it reminds me, and so I'm trying to come up with it, and isn't there some kind of a joke or some kind of a riddle or something about a sandwich and the guy eating the sandwich, and it's actually like the security guard's lunch? Do you remember this?
It's like a meme or a joke meme or something about art. Yeah, because it's like
sandwich.
Yeah, like these snobby people are like in a museum, and then they're like, "Oh, look at this piece! It's on this table. It is so thrilling." And then it's just the security guard's like lunch, and he just picks it up and eats it.
Yes, I feel like it's that, but I don't know. I think I don't know. I love art. I think people who are good at art are fabulous, incredible people, because I am not very good at art, although I recently listened to a TED Talk that talks about how we're all artists and it takes somebody, to... So
to the audio listeners, I found the picture my dad took of him taping a taco
to a wall. Piece of tape.
Hey, do not question my dad's art, okay? If he wants to use a big thing of tape, he will use a goddamn big piece of tape.
You know what else I like? I like that your dad doesn't even use like standard gray duct tape. Like that's like brown tape. It even matches the wall tone. Like I feel like there's
he is an artiste
to this.
He has the eye. He has the eye for art. He knows what he's doing.
I mean, I recently was a delinquent in a National Art Museum, so I don't know. You may not want to trust me.
What does that mean? Wait, what does that mean?
It means that I was recently on a tour, and the tour guide kept giving us like these 20-minute long lessons on, individual pieces. and I dipped into a side room because I wanted to look at something, and I actually got in trouble. The person came and said, it was a friend of mine and me, and came back and said, you really need to stay with the group. It was like, oh, sorry. And then, of course, we go down the hallway, and she's showing us another big piece of art, which is fine, but it was another 20-minute lesson. And it was like, well, no, I want to go in here. So I dipped into a room again, and she came with me. And they sent another member of the group and said, she wants you to come back now. Okay. So we went back. And then there was a point where I caught up for a third time. And she actually said to me, I get the impression that you're not having any fun or you're not enjoying this. And I'm like, no, I'm enjoying this just fine because I'm looking at the things I want to see. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be a rule breaker. Like every time that I dipped away from the group, I knew where the group was. It's not like they went off and I got lost. Yeah. But it was like, this is fine. I get it, but I really want to explore and see other things too.
No, I gotcha.
So I was a delinquent.
Lisa going around the art museum going, I need an adult. I need an
adultier adult. Yes.
You need an adultier adult.
Definitely need an adultier adult.
The new adult. I feel that way sometimes. I'm in a situation. I'm like, I need an adult. Oh, fuck. I'm 42. Fuck.
Right? I'm like in charge of things on the regular. I'm like, do you understand who you're putting in charge of these things? Like, I spend my time watching people play video games online, and I cackle at it. Like, I mean, it doesn't take much to entertain me.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. One time I just had my keys in front of Lisa. She stared at me for like 45 minutes, and she was just enthralled. It was interesting.
I'm currently distracted by a video of
you
a
are
chicken
distracted.
wearing shoes.
Yeah,
it's a chicken wearing shoes, and he's kind of flopping around. It's really entertaining to me.
Really? A chicken wearing shoes is more entertaining than me
send it to you.
and
no,
Bubba.
You.
That is so insulting to my guest Bubbawheat.
No,
how dare you?
More insulting. Not more.
How dare
insulting,
you?
Not more entertaining. I can't even talk. I just don't trust me because I can't even defend myself properly.
How dare you, ma'am? I worked hard on this episode. And
I have no doubt.
The strings that I pulled to get Bubbawheat on this show, you know what I had to promise? Well, we're not going to get into that, but that reminds me of this story. I'll be really quick with this because no one likes my stories. When I was in the 8th grade, my class took a trip to Washington, D.C., and the last day we went to the Smithsonian Museum. And they kind of let us just kind of wander around because it was the last day. We had chaperones. Like a lot of the chaperones were just the kids' parents. They're like, you guys can kind of look at whatever. We're not going to go on a tour or nothing. Just you can explore the museum. Just don't get away from your chaperone. And so like they split like each chaperone like 4 kids. And at some point, I ended up having to go to the bathroom.
No,
I had to. I went to the nearest one. I said to the chaperone, "Hey, I'm gonna go use the bathroom," and it was like right there. And he's like, "Oh, okay, go ahead." And he was looking at whatever, like Archie Bunker's chair or whatever. And
I would like to see Archie Bunker's chair.
It's in the Smithsonian. Anyway,
yeah, it's not a museum I went to.
So that bathroom, for whatever reason, was closed. And so there was a guy there who worked there, and he's like, "Oh, this bathroom's closed. You got to use the one like down the hall and make a left." And he gave me these elaborate directions. And so I just went, and I found it eventually. And then I went to the bathroom, and I came out, and then I realized I had no idea where the fuck I was in his museum because I took such a weird journey to get there. And so now I'm like, okay. So now I'm roaming around the Smithsonian looking for my chaperone or the kids in my class and everything. And I'm in there for like 30 minutes just by myself roaming around. And then like eventually I found a set of doors, and some weird thing told me to just go out those doors. So I went outside the doors, and immediately outside the doors was my class and the chaperone and my teacher, and they were out there and they were waiting for me.
That's
I was
amazing.
I was the last fucking kid in that museum, and they were all like just waiting for me. And then when I came out, they were all like, "Oh, thank God." And then the chaperone was having a heart attack because he's like, I lost a kid.
Yeah, that's not something you want to be responsible for.
So yeah, I got lost at the Smithsonian in 1994.
Crazy.
In 1994, nonetheless.
Oh my goodness.
And then when I came back home, Kurt Cobain killed himself. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah. So,
Aw.
guy ate a banana in an art museum. Let's move on.
Move on or actually talk about the topic?
No, we're just gonna move on to something else.
I feel like we've moved on quite a bit. We just haven't talked about the topic.
We're just gonna. There's no topics on this show. What are you
That's
talking
true.
about?
That is very true.
Anyway,
By the way, Bubbawheat is totally distracted by my chicken video.
is he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Well, as the guy that has to keep this show running smoothly, I cannot look at the chicken video.
Well, your loss.
I have some sad news, everybody.
Oh no.
Talk show legend Jerry Springer died this past
He
week.
He did.
Yeah.
And I was a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I
think most of us were.
I love the fuck out of the Jerry Springer show. It felt like a show that, like, when you're a kid, you shouldn't be watching because it just feels like this is forbidden television, but it's on 2 p.m. on an afternoon on a weekday. And you know what? I kind of blamed like the late night commercials because they'd be like, Jerry Springer on tape, too hot for TV. Watch the uncensored craziness. And then you see like a woman in her bikini stripping on a strip pole or some shit, and it's like, get the too hot for TV version of Jerry Springer. I did have some of those tapes, by the way. All it just was, I legit was just like they took their tops off and they were just topless. That was it. That was the whole scandal. Like, oh no, we can't hold this on TV. We don't know how to blur shit. What are you guys?
Wasn't it pretty much the exact same thing as what they showed on TV? Except on TV they had the blur. They had the blur.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The black box.
There was literally a portion of the show at the end for like a good chunk of years where they were just like, "Show me, I want my Jerry beads," and then they like flash Jerry Springer, and then like the producer guy chomping on his big giant cigar would throw like Mardi Gras beads at him. There was like a whole segment of this goddamn show where they show tits, but no, we got to sell VHS tapes of the Jerry Springer show. So okay, Lisa, you said you were a fan as well. I'll put fan in quotes.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody watched it. Like, it was fun entertainment. It was like that random, it's just that it was that, you know, like when Ricky Lake was no longer a thing, you watched Jerry Springer. Like it was you watched The Price is Right when you were homesick, and you watched Jerry Springer.
Watch Jerry Springer. Yeah. What about you, Bubba?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I definitely watched it, you know, a fair amount. I think I was more a fan of Maury because especially, you know, all the you know,
Maury
the
used to be legit.
segments.
He used to be legitimate though. Don't you remember? Like when he first got a show, he was legitimate because what's his face? Connie Chung was his wife.
Yeah, well, I think they're still married, but yeah. Oh yeah, no, he was like Montel
Williams. Yes.
Yeah, he was like that. And then something happened where then suddenly it was like DNA tests all around.
Yep. He saw that was when his ratings went through the roof, and he was like,
yeah,
well, no, I guess this is what we're doing.
That's what he's doing. And he did it. And he seemed happy with it. And same with Jerry Springer.
Getting people to come on and go, I am 100,000,000,000% sure that I am not the father.
Those were the best.
You are the father. Oh!
My favorite. No, you know what my favorites always were?
The original mic drops.
My favorites were always when they were not the father, and then like the woman like just runs backstage, like
and starts crying.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they go fucking out of there. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
I remember there was one where it's like he brought this woman on and she had like two or three potential fathers, and this was like her third time, and like
Yeah.
every single one of them was not the
father. I think I've seen that too. Yeah. And then you know what? Jerry Springer was legit the first like year. It was like, you know, we're gonna
It
help,
like slowly
like,
devolved. It kind of reminds me of like The Simpsons whenever they said, you know, the future, and they're like, you know, Fox is now just hardcore porn, but it happened so slowly that no one ever noticed.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the same with Jerry Springer, because he would have like, you know, like, oh, we're gonna reunite this mother and the daughter, and like, oh, these two people in a relationship are not getting like in a serious relationship, and they're trying to seriously hash it out, or whatever. And then it just eventually went to like, I'm gonna put a pie in your face. Yeah, Jerry. And that was filmed in Chicago for like the longest time. And one of my like bucket list thing was to go to a Jerry Springer show, but you had to be 21 to do it. So I'm like waiting and waiting. Oh, I'm almost 21. And then I swear to God, the fucking year I turned 21, he moved to fucking Connecticut. Like, I even knew where the fucking studio was. I knew where the fucking studio was. It was down. It was literally
like that show was so popular that even his security guard got a show.
His fucking security guard. Yes. And that show's weird. Do you guys watch that?
I never saw. No, I never.
I can't even think of his name right now. What the fuck? Steve Wilkos. Yes.
Yeah.
His show was weird. It's like it's like a serious Jerry Springer where he brings on people who need like relationship help, or they're having trouble with like their kids or their moms or whatever. But then like his whole thing is, if you're a bad person or you're disrespectful, you cannot sit in a chair. He takes their chairs away because they start off sitting in a chair. And then, like, the person will reveal, yeah, I beat my kid because, you know, they brought home a B instead of an A. And then he's like, nope, get up. You gotta get up the chair. Take the chair away from him where he's not gonna sit on my stage. And it's so fucking weird. And it's not even like Jerry Springer wild. Like, there's no fights or anything. Like, he doesn't even tolerate it. Like, if someone tries to fight
it's he's kind of a bridge between Jerry Springer and Dr. Phil.
Yes. Pretty much, yes.
Friggin' Dr. Phil.
Oh my weird.
God, Dr. Phil.
Yeah, Dr. Dr. Phil. And I think he's leaving too. Like, he was supposed to be leaving.
Isn't he gone?
What do you mean he already left? I don't. I just remember he's supposed to stop doing TV, and
I don't think he's been on for a while at this point.
Yeah,
no, I've been off of like network and cable TV for over 5 years now. So if it's not on streaming, I have no idea.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And like I work days now, but even when I was off on weekdays, I never watched TV. I would just fuck around on the internet or watch YouTube, or I would watch like movies or something. I don't ever.
That shows how young you are, because some of us didn't have internet.
No, I meant today. Oh,
okay.
I meant like now, present day.
Okay.
Like, no, back when I was a kid, yeah, I was fucking all about The Price is Right and Jerry Springer and shit. Yeah, absolutely. I remember, being weirded out by fucking soap operas. I would go visit my grandma in the summer, and she was into like the soap operas, like both the American and the Spanish novellas.
Oh my God.
Telenovelas.
Do you know that like soap operas aren't a thing anymore?
Yeah, they're all
like
going
they're
away.
not. They're all gone. They're either like streaming only, or they're just flat out gone, and it's so weird.
Yeah,
like, that was such an.
What the hell is on TV? What the hell's on now?
All of the talk shows. So you've got Drew Barrymore, and you've got Kelly Clarkson, and you've got all these other things.
Oh.
Well, I think all the like soap operas, they've moved to like the Korean soap operas that are on streaming now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, my grandma, she was a fan of All My Children. She loved One Life to Live.
Yeah, like, my mom was a Days of Our Lives girl.
General Hospital.
Oh my God, that was a big one. A lot of actors got their start on General Hospital.
That is weird. Yeah.
I think Sarah Michelle Gellar did.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what else did I used to watch like during the daytime? I didn't have
I was.
cable.
I'm glad I was. My parents were not soap opera people. We were game show. So I've definitely like
Yeah,
Price
My
is
dad was a
Right
game show guy.
and
yeah,
Press Your Luck, all that. Like that
yeah.
was one
That's
thing
right.
that I
Yes.
was actually glad about, even though I never actually, I haven't watched a ton of them, but it was so bizarre just these past like 2 or 3 years, this resurgence of all these like 80s game shows coming back, like the return of Press Your Luck and
Yes.
Supermarket Sweep
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Joker's
God,
Wild,
press
I
your
think.
luck. Yes. My
Yeah.
father
It's
Like
loved
what
Press Your Luck and Name That Tune.
and
those are
like
all
with
back.
Elizabeth Banks too. Yeah, it's so weird. I
Yeah, Name
watched
That Tune
I did
isn't a
watch
thing.
some. Well, it's Beat Shazam.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Well, no, there's also Name That Tune is actually back as well. It's hosted by what's her name from 30 Rock?
Tina
Tina
Fey?
Fey?
No, the
No,
blonde.
the Jenna.
No, it's not
No,
Jenna.
that was
It's
her character name.
Well, her. I can't think what the fuck her name is, but she hosts it
oh my
with
God, I can't come up with their name either.
with Randy Jackson. Like they both host it. He plays the
Ew.
music. He plays the music for the tune, and she hosts it.
Yeah,
Jane
I watched
Krasowski.
that, and
Jane Krasowski.
yes,
Krasowski,
That's her name.
Jen
yes.
Krasinski. Yeah.
That's it.
Well
Yeah.
done, sir.
She
Well
hosts
done.
it. She hosts Name That Tune. And yeah,
And
and
like
then
Alec Baldwin with the match game.
the match.
That was weird. I watched a couple episodes of that. It's like what the hell is this?
I can't. Yeah, that's not the same as the original match game.
It's not as good.
When we did
Watched
get
a
cable,
lot of Hollywood Squares too.
when we got cable, eventually there was like daytime game shows on the USA Network.
Yes.
And the only one I remember off the top of my head is there was a game show version of Scrabble. Do you guys remember the TV game show version of Scrabble?
I don't remember that one.
It was hosted by Chuck Woolery.
Yeah.
And there were two contestants, and it was like a Scrabble board, and then like they assigned like letters randomly, and it was just it's almost like Wheel of Fortune, but like you're doing actual like the pattern of like the crossword, like the Scrabble board. And I watched that too, just because I was at home sick from school or whatever it was, or I was home during summer. So yeah. No, you guys don't remember that, huh? That's weird.
I don't.
No, I don't remember that one.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
there was tons of them. Like I remember Win, Lose, or Draw.
Wow.
Oh my
Win, lose, or
God,
draw.
yes.
Yes, win, lose, or draw. That was fun. Bert Convy. That's a name you probably haven't heard in 1,000 years.
No, I don't even recognize the
Bert
name.
Convy.
Should I?
He was the host. He was the host of Win, Lose, or Draw.
What was the name?
Bert Convy. He was like a 70s actor.
I have to look at him.
He hosted a couple other game shows, and then he landed Win, Lose, or Draw like in the early 90s. And then
I think they had a
this
different
guy.
host. Didn't they have like the redheaded woman? I forget her name, or either that or she was just like a regular on there.
They had regulars. They definitely had regulars that were always on the show. Burt Reynolds was always on there too.
We used to watch a lot of Family Feud in this house.
Oh, Family Feud.
My father and I would yell things across the house because we were like both really good at getting top answers.
Fucking Ray Combs. You guys remember Ray Combs? He's one of the hosts.
Yes,
He
yes.
fucking ended up killing himself. I don't mean to laugh, but
God.
I don't mean to laugh, but no, I'm only laughing because it's so random that he got like so like bummed out about hosting Family Feud that he like killed himself. It was something like that.
He was the guy who came after what's his face, who like used to kiss the guests on the lips.
Yeah, Richard Dawson.
Thank you. See, I'm
Yeah.
glad you know these names because
No, I'm like, I remember the useless shit that no one else should fucking.
I'm usually good at that, but like I said, I have very little brain capacity lately.
So I'm gonna tell you guys the sad story about Ray Combs because
why do you keep telling us sad stories?
because because if I gotta read this shit, I need to expel this out into the world. So anyway, on June 1st, 1996, police were called to Combs' home in Glendale, California, over reports of a disturbance. Combs has reportedly destroyed most of the inside of his house and had been banging his head against the walls. Shortly after the
Ooh.
police arrived, Combs' estranged wife Debbie arrived and informed them that Combs was suicidal and spent the previous weeks in a hospital for a suicide attempt. He was taken by the police to a medical center where he was placed on a 72-hour psychiatric observation hold. And then the next day, the hospital personnel discovered Combs hanging by his bed sheets in the closet of his room.
Ooh.
So yeah, there you go. Next time that comes on the Game Show Network, think about that. Do you not know how the show works by now, Lisa? We do sad. We go dark. We get dark.
Have you met me? I go dark.
Well, and then why are you getting upset then?
I don't know.
Welcome to whatever with Jason Soto, where the co-hosts bicker.
No, that's true. The banging of his head against a wall, that's so awful.
Yeah, he had problems.
Sounds like a psychotic break.
I need to look at a picture of him too, because I remember like he was knee high of a duck.
He wasn't that tall, yeah. He was not tall. And he wanted to hold a microphone. I think he just insisted on having his own mic. I remember that too. He never whenever he talked to people, he never extended it. He always held it to himself, and then other people had to talk into their own microphones.
Him I don't remember. I remember a lot of the newer hosts like Richard Karn, Louis Anderson, and then of course Steve Harvey,
and then
for ages.
For a brief shining moment, that guy that was on Seinfeld, I can't think what his name is. He was I'll have to look it up. He was
Alexander?
No, he was Elaine's boss. He was the guy that had the J. Crew company. I can't remember that guy's name.
Yeah, I can picture him, but I can't think of I can't think of his name.
So it's picking up Ray Combs because that's the last thing that I looked up. But yeah, he it was a very shining, brief moment. He had it. Louis Anderson, John O'Hurley.
Yeah.
If you look up John O'Hurley, it's gonna come to you. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah. Yeah. And actually he had it before Steve Harvey. He's the last guy that had it before Steve Harvey. So
yeah.
And then Steve Harvey just finally left, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God, no way.
I definitely read that just recently, that he just recently stepped down, and he'd been doing it. He was actually I think he's the longest, either the longest or hosted the most episodes at this point.
Holy shit, that's weird, because he is probably the best one. Honestly, it's just something about his reactions. It's just fucking hilarious.
One of the funniest ones, because those clips come up every so often. The overtly sexual ones. And,
yes,
and then his reactions are the best, and I think they're better whenever it actually shows it. Whenever he is certain it's not going to be on the board, but then it is. I think those are the best. And
those are the greatest.
The one that I saw that's recently was things that Abraham Lincoln rode. And they were looking for the last one, and of course there was a horse, a carriage, and then the family or the person said his wife, and then of course Steve Harvey does the look to camera, the incredulous, and he's like, show me his wife, and then there pops up Mrs. Lincoln / his wife.
Oh man, well that sucks. I like Steve Harvey as the host. I wonder who the hell can you get to replace him?
He's done a really, really good job.
I can't even think of somebody that can do it. I couldn't even do it. I wouldn't even recommend myself to do it. So I don't know. Good luck.
I mean, it's tough to think of who is an actor that would be good on a game show, because there's, like I said, there's been an explosion of them, and I would say that most of the people that they pick for hosts are not great hosts.
True. Yeah. So, all right. Well, hey, it was nice going down this game show nostalgia trail, and we had to get dark with it because I'm me. Ray Combs killed himself. Okay, with that said, it's time for the mixtape. Oh my God, I love the mixtape, you guys. Last week, Lisa, you weren't here.
I missed it.
I had a very interesting show last week. In case you didn't know, Lisa, I talked to strangers.
I've told you not to talk to strangers.
You weren't here to supervise me.
Oh my goodness.
I blame you. I blame you, Lisa. I did it from watching you. Anyway, Bubba, you're the guest, so you get to go first. Now, typically, we don't do this on the mixtape. I like to be surprised by the song that the guest or Lisa or Bear or whoever. But you gave me explicit directions today. You said, I want you to listen to this goddamn song. You were very angry for some reason. I'm like, Bubba, calm down, man.
Bubba doesn't get angry.
You were like, you fucker, listen to this fucking song. And I was like, all right, I'm sorry. So I did listen to the song. So please tell everyone what the song is and why you wanted me to listen to it.
Well, back whenever I first, switched over to Spotify and started choosing songs on there, like my start was kind of Meg Myers, and then I just kind of picked the Meg Myers mix, and then Spotify, it's like, 1 out of every 6 songs will be Meg Myers, and then the other 5 will be related artists. Okay. And then that kind of introduced me to a lot of artists that I hadn't heard before. And one of them was a band called Miss Mister. And I found myself, really liking a lot of their songs. And then the lead singer has a solo project called LPX.
Okay.
And that's, I also enjoyed a lot of those songs. And this song that I chose, which is called Red Queen. And I really enjoyed it. And I always had a very specific thought of what the song was about because of how I heard the chorus, the lyrics in the chorus. And then a year or two later, I actually looked up the lyric video because it doesn't have a video. It has the lyric, the animated lyrics. Mm-hmm. And then I read what it actually said. And it's like, oh, that is not what I thought it said at all. So I'm kind of curious of if you heard what I heard or if you heard something different. So in the chorus, it's, I couldn't tell you, but you were only a friend, keeping me warm until.
I have to remember because I just listened to it. I didn't look up the lyrics or nothing. I'd have to hear it. Because I didn't remember thinking anything weird. Because I guess I should have asked why I was listening to it, and then maybe I would have paid more attention. Because I was just listening to it. Has a song, and like I said, I thought it sounded like Miley Cyrus.
Well, then I guess I'll just spoil it. But I always thought that the song says keeping me warm until you nut in my hand.
That's an amazing lyric.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to listen to it again, and I'll have to see if I hear that. Because I don't think I noticed.
And I thought that was a really interesting.
It's really cozy
lyrics. It's I thought it was about a song about about a relationship, about someone that's thought it's about her singing about this someone in the friend zone, and it's she's talking about her this comfort friend, but then she gives him a handy every once in a while.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, I will.
Friends with benefits, but then I actually read the lyrics, and it's and it's keeping me warm until you're not in my hand.
Well, who would be in her hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing, though. Amazing.
I will have to pay attention to that when I go to edit the song into the show.
Amazing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. For what it's worth, I was like, that's the only thing I was doing was listening to it. I never thought anything was weird sounding. Because my mind was, this was a cool song, and the singer kind of sounded like Miley Cyrus, and then I didn't pick up any weird lyrics, and then I'm thinking, like, is he trying to put this on Lyrical Innuendos? Like, was that why he's asking? Like, I was trying to figure it out.
To now.
I was kind of feeling it out, and I'm like, I wonder why he told me to pay attention or listen to this or whatever. So my mind was like, just focus on the song, but I wasn't really super focused on like lyrics and stuff. So yeah, I will revisit when I edit the episode. So all right, cool. For what it's worth, I did like the song. My pick, to anyone who pays attention to me on social media, read Zero People. I mentioned that I went down a hole, and I went down a whole hole. I started listening to a bunch of songs from the band Hole. One of my favorites from them is Malibu. I don't know why that song is as amazing as it is. Just something about it appeals to me. But I already put it on the mixtape. I checked. So I'm going to go to their second album called Live Through This, which came out in 94. And it's a great album. I highly recommend that. I actually listened to and it's so short, I actually listened to it twice, like on a repeat. That's how infatuated I was with this album. And I call bullshit on her saying that Kurt Cobain did not help make any of the songs, because there's 2 songs on that album I swear to God could be Nirvana if it wasn't her singing. Like, straight up a Nirvana song. But
I believe it.
Neither here nor there. I'm going with a single off the album. It was called Violet. It's a great song. And it's the first song on the album. And yeah, it's just a great song. So it's called Violet by Hole. And, Courtney Love, say what you want about her. I think she's talented. I like her. People give her a lot of shit. But I like Courtney Love. And she's actually not that bad of an actress. She was in Man in the Moon with Jim Carrey. And
she was in The People versus Larry Flint.
Yeah.
She was nominated for that, wasn't she?
I think so. She's actually not that bad of an actress.
Yep,
so,
can't be too bad.
Yeah, she was wonderful in Man in the Moon, absolutely. So anyway, those are going to be our mixtape picks. To those watching on YouTube, I'm sorry I cannot put the songs here. But you're free to pause, go seek them out, listen to it, pretend they are. And then come on back, because a lot of people reached out to us for help. So let's go help these people, you guys. Stay tuned. Hey, let me interrupt the current podcast you're listening to so we can tell you about Musically Ignorant, hosted by me, Jason, and my pal Lackey.
Hi, I'm Lackey.
We discuss all kinds of music from mainstream pop acts like Ben Folds and R.E.M.,
and very obscure acts like Cabaret Voltaire and Black Moth Super Rainbow.
I think you just made those names up.
I most certainly did not.
Well, I guess that's why we named the show Musically Ignorant.
Indeed, you rapscallion!
Now, before Lackey turns too much into a 19th century professor, you should check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, or our home website, rabbitholepodcast.com.
Jason, have you ever heard of this Lizzo person that's trending on Twitter?
Oh man, I got my work cut out for me. Okay, everybody, we are back. Hey, you listening and or watching, you should go to patreon.com/rabbitholepods, because this week's Patreon exclusive is I am going to show some weird commercials to Bubba and Lisa, and they are going to react. So you can check that out over on patreon.com/rabbitholepods. $3 gets you in the door to check that shit out. Okay, hey, you guys, sometimes on this podcast, I like to help people. I'm not just about doom and gloom and talk about, game show host suicide. That's not what Jason Soto's always about. I like to help people. And sometimes people reach out to me and they'll be like, Jason, we need your help. We need your help very badly. We need your advice. So I gather these things, and we're going to help some people. I thought Bubba, he's wise in his old age. And
that wasn't very nice, Jason.
It's a comedy It's a comedy podcast, Lisa. Not everything I say is serious.
And also, you're 2 weeks older than me.
Oh shit! If he's 2 weeks older than you, then I'm a full 2 years older than you. I'm the old asshole here.
Oh my god! Anyway, we're gonna help some people with some advice, and so, Lisa, Bubba, we're gonna help some people out there. All right. Okay. So first and foremost, I picked this because, as I said, Lisa's a teacher and Bubba's a parent. And I figured both of you guys combined might have something helpful here. This is called prom advice. It says, our prom starts at 7 and ends at 10, but we plan to leave at 9 just to do something else. But I don't know what that something else exactly is. I was planning we eat afterwards, but most of the fancy restaurants nearby are closed after 9 or 10 p.m. He is going to pick me up at 5, and we're taking pictures around 6 with friends, so we'll have an hour to be together, and I don't know what to do during that time frame. Any recommended activities? Literally anything before and after? Yeah, there you go. So this person wants some stuff to do on prom night. In between the pictures and going to the actual prom, what activities can we think of for them to do? Between Lisa, what do you say in your infinite wisdom? They reached out to us, man.
No, here's the problem. I have to go on a quick tangent here, if you'll allow me.
Okay.
So I've been, so there's I don't even know how to express this without it being strange, but so don't spit all over your keyboard. It's not good for it. So there's this element, like, I've been accused of zebras, and the idea is, I always think of the strangest element. So when I hear a herd, like a stampede, normal people think horses, I think of zebras. Is the metaphor. So you're over here telling me about this, and I went right for the zebras. You told me that this person wants to leave at 9 o'clock. The prom ends at 10. I'm wondering how they're even allowed to leave, because at our proms, you are not allowed to leave that early from prom. And I got hung up on that, unfortunately. Also, these poor fools have a short prom. 7 to 10, that's nothing. And where are they going to go to eat? First of all, because they're fed at prom. And then it makes me wonder where they live, because for everything to be closed by 9 o'clock is really strange.
It's got to be a small town.
Apparently. So I feel like there's
or like somewhere in the South, because I feel like a lot, everything except for fast food restaurants close around 9 or 10, and even like the big box stores, like the grocery stores, they close at 11.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like their best option is somebody must be having a bonfire in a cornfield somewhere.
Okay.
Go find that and go walk with he who walks behind the rose.
Do you have anything to add to that, Bubba?
I mean, my movie had just got. I mean, my cliched teen movie head, it just can't think of anything else except for sex in the limo. But yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going to, actually. I mean,
because I'm a parent, but I'm a liberal parent, and also I'm an introvert, so I'm the worst person to ask for advice on things to do. So
I'm right there with you, sir.
I guess.
Just go home and watch a movie together.
Yeah, and go to church and pray. No,
Yeah, go to midnight mass.
Yeah, go to midnight mass. Yeah. I mean, okay, yeah, we need to know where you live. Because if it's a tiny town or if it's in the South, like Bubba said, there's not a lot you're gonna be doing. Not a lot of places are open. And I don't know what kind of scene you guys got. Like, arcades are kind of starting to come back a little bit. So maybe one of those might be open. You can always, if you got that much time, catch a movie. Or you can go in a car with some baseball bats and knock down some mailboxes. That's always
There you go.
So there you go. Hopefully we helped. So the next writer inner has a very specific request. They want to know if we have any ideas how to quit porn. This person is 14 years old. They're very horny all the time.
Oh.
Busted one in the car today. He feels very guilty and regrets it a lot. Please help. I need to stop jacking it.
Oh. I feel like he's too young to have to worry about this. I mean, that's kind of... you two may be a little bit more experienced in how to answer this, but I kind of feel it comes with the territory at that age,
so to speak. So, I'm going to say this. You're 14, my man. Hi, I'm Jason. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming to me for this advice. You clearly came to the right place. Literally and figuratively. You're 14 years old. It's okay. Just keep jacking it. You're fine.
Yeah, I mean...
It's normal. You're going to do it. I mean, there's a slight chance you may get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever you may be into. And, they can help you. You can have sex. Fucking have sex at 14. Hey, Jason Soto here. Have sex at fucking 14.
Just be safe when you do it.
There's a whole TV series on MTV about having sex at 14. You're going to be fine. Or, okay, if you're single, just jerk it off. Just jerk off. It's fine. It's absolutely normal. You know how often I jerked off when I was 14? I barely left my bedroom when I was 14. All right.
And now see where he is.
And look where I am today. I run the second most popular podcast on Spotify. So this could be you too. Bubba, I know you're an introvert, but what do you, well, here you go. You're an introvert. This involves an inside thing. What do you got to say?
I mean, honestly, my thought goes to, I know this is a comedy podcast, but my first thought goes to an actual serious answer. Okay. And that is, it's, as long as it's not interfering with your daily life, it's perfectly fine. You shouldn't feel guilty about it. But if it gets to the point where it is interfering with your daily activities, like you're doing, like if you're watching porn instead of doing homework, like you're falling behind on your grades, you're watching porn like in places where you shouldn't be, like in your parents' car, that's where you have to figure out if this is becoming an addiction and I need to get some help. And it can be an addiction problem even at 14, and that there are things, places that you can go to. There's a lot of support groups, there's a lot of drug, but there's also addiction support groups, and that would be a good place to go to.
Or just keep jerking off. Okay, thank you for writing in, person. Thank you for writing in. Okay, the next one. Okay, this is, again, it's a comedy show, but we got kind of a serious question here. So let's see how we handle this. So I'm a 23-year-old female, and my girlfriend is 21. Her mom is the most narcissistic person I know, but I've never met her. Me and my girlfriend's been dating for almost a year. This month, and it's been the best year of my life. However, my girlfriend's mom is very homophobic, and she is always controlling, blaming my girlfriend's every decision on me, which I give advice, but ultimately I have no say in her decisions. It's her life, of course, and she is free to leave at any time. I'll never make her stay, as that's toxic. Anyway, she finally stepped up now that she has some confidence and want to take control of her own money. Ever since she started working as a teen, she's never seen her bank account, which is insane. Her mom claims she spends way too much money, but I'd say it's about average as any other middle-class person out there. We recently learned after I helped her switch banks, then she went into a little weird side, that she had all of $30 in both accounts. She's been working for years. Yeah, she started a little later at 18, but still, her mom has been stealing her money this entire time.
Wow.
And already is a money spending addict to begin with. With the COVID relief money, she spent $15,000 and long before stole $30,000 from family. So needless to say, she hasn't shown my girlfriend proof of there being her money anywhere. I'm trying to convince her to move out into her aunt's, who loves her dearly, and just to get her fucking money back and her life back. What sucks is we're trying to save for a house and to get about $13,000 each for down payments. Should she sue the mom to get her money back? At our age, would that even work? So remember, 23 and 21. Yeah, fucking sue the mom. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it would work because you're an adult.
You're both adults. Yeah, that's fucking bullshit, man. You should fucking, you know what you should do is you put ski masks on, break into the mom's house, tie her up to a chair, don't do any harm to her, and then just rob the mom and take whatever money you can, and then just make like you're some other robbers. That's it. Do not harm the mom. I do not want to get dragged into a lawsuit where it was like, hey, the mom died because this asshole on the internet told me to do it. No. I just said tie her to a chair and then rob her. Do not do anything else. Please, for the love of God.
Don't rob her.
But if she happens to die through other reasons, just make sure that she has a good insurance policy and you're the benefactor.
There you go. Yeah, now that's from Bubba, who is not affiliated with whatever with Jason Soto. So.
Oh God, you're all killing me.
So, Lisa, what do you think?
I would recommend the fact that you are old enough, you are adults, and if there's an element there, like sue mom. Like you gotta get your money back if it belongs to you, and there's a paper trail. Then get that money back.
I agree. Fucking one thing that bugs me the most is overprotective parents, and my parents were very loosey goosey with me, like they weren't like, do whatever you want, but they also weren't like strict. My mom, like I said, she let me watch basically whatever any movie in the world at such a young age. Just, I saw Exorcist at age 9, so that tells you anything. And my dad was, a very good father. He was always there for me. And, but he was never like, you can't do this or very strict or anything like that. They both were, let me kind of make my own mistakes, if you were. You know what I mean? Like they never like, oh, you can't leave the house or you can't stay out past 9, or they were just like, yeah, if he fucking breaks his leg at 11:30 at night on the school night, that's his fucking deal. But I think that's what you need. Because when my sister was born, I was 16 when she was born. Everyone was like, oh, you're going to be like super overprotective of her. I'm like, no, I'm going to do the same thing. Let her make her own mistakes. If she wants to fuck a dude at age 14, that's her. That's on her. I'm not going to like be all like, oh, you can't date my sister until she's like 30 years old, or like, that's just annoying, obnoxious bullshit. And I don't tolerate that. So I'm all for people making their own mistakes. Let people figure shit out on their own. And if they're like, oh, this guy was kind of an asshole, I think I'm not going to date him. Let them discover that on their own. So there you go.
I agree. I think it's a good call.
Okay, so these next set of questions I pulled because, Bubba, you not only work with arcade style games, but you like some arcade style games yourself. If I remember correctly, you came into possession of an arcade game, which you were like fixing up or something. Is that correct? Am I remembering that? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, in theory, less so in practice. But
okay, but
yes,
you do have you do. Okay, so I pulled these next set of questions just for you. So Bubbawheat, in tribute of you because you're a guest. This one person is trying to come up with a name for an arcade cabinet. For the last 2 months, I was building an arcade cabinet, and I am on the finishing line in terms of progress. So I decided it's time to name it and design a marquee for it. But after thinking about it for 2 days, I still got no idea. Any suggestions would be fantastic. What do you think, Bubba?
I mean, it might not work for him, but if it was something for me, I would go with a little bit of my nostalgia, because the first arcade that I worked at was Aladdin's Castle, and so I would name it Aladdin's Lamp.
Nice. I like that. That makes sense.
Because I would imagine that it's like one of those emulator cabinets that's, can play multiple arcade games.
Not a lot of detail. That's all I got in the email. So that's kind of all I'm working with.
If they're building it themselves, then it's most likely, like these days it's not that hard. You can do like a Raspberry Pi, get an emulator, and like load up a whole bunch of arcade games and do it that way.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you understood what the fuck you was talking about, because I sure as hell didn't. I just wanted to read the question because I know you like arcade stuff, so I'm glad you got it, because I'm like, I don't know, name it Steve. Yeah. Steve. I don't tell you.
Yeah, basically he's building something that looks like a classic arcade cabinet, but it's basically like a video game console that has a bunch of games.
Okay,
up on
all right. Okay.
So he wants to design a marquee, so it's like, it's his arcade cabinet.
See,
and name it something.
Bubba's a smart guy. Hi, Lisa's husband, who's going to be only on the YouTube video and not on the podcast because he's not speaking.
No, he's not speaking currently.
Okay.
I mean, you can speak if you'd like.
He's listening.
He's good the way he is.
He's listening to some jams.
He is.
So this is
probably
why
some random history podcast.
I know
that I normally have to listen to secondhand because he walks around with his phone unplugged all the time, and he's actually got here we go. He's got his earbuds in because yeah.
Well, there you go. So the YouTube viewers got something a little extra this week. All right, cool. So the next one, Bubba, he wants to know, is he being petty over 50 cents? The day of my graduation, the boys and I went to see Godzilla in theaters last year. And afterwards, we went to the arcade inside. The arcade there was various machines, the most notable of which were the typical sit-down and drive a car arcade cabinet and a coin pusher. The special part about this coin pusher is that you insert quarters instead of tokens, and you also get quarters out, which you never see in an ordinary arcade. I know what you're talking about. I have seen those in carnivals and festivals. Being the typical casual gambler I am, I gravitated to coin pusher like a fly to honey. I ended up getting the far right side loaded with only 2 quarters remaining, and then my friend's friend asked me to borrow my quarters so that he could play the racing game. I said no and piss off since I barely know the guy. Okay. But he kept on complaining that he had no cash for quarters and wanted to play at least one game before we would leave. I ended up saying fuck it and to pay me back at a later date. A little bit later, after my friend's father started to play the coin pusher as well, then started gravitating to the coin pusher as well. Why'd you repeat yourself, my man? It happened a year ago, so I'm a bit fuzzy on details, but then he proceeded to whip out $1 in quarters, pointed the coin ramp in the opposite direction of the loaded corner, and lost all 4 in a span of 20 seconds. Afterwards, he asked me what the big deal was, and when I explained to my friends the situation, nobody backed me up and acted like I was being petty. Aww. It's now been a year, and so I started talking to the guy again. I know I'm definitely being petty now that I remembered about it after a year, but I was curious if I should have been so pissed over the 50 cents at the time it happened, since none of my friends were backing me up over it. Dude, it's 50 fucking cents.
I mean,
My
really,
man.
get over it.
For a second, I thought this was going to be like a Phoebe and Friends situation with like the old lady with lurking and stealing it, like waiting for people that give up on a slot machine and then jump in behind them and get a jackpot.
Yeah.
I thought
Yes.
for a second, I thought that's where the story was going to go, and like his friend put in the 50 cents and won a bunch of quarters. But no,
he's just mad that
his
he
friend's
lost
dad
50
put
cents.
in $1 and didn't win anything. It's like, oh, you would have put the 50 cents in and you wouldn't have won anything. So big freaking deal.
What the fuck, man? Yeah, get over it. I hope you're listening.
Yeah, really.
Well, I know you are listening because you sent me the email. Thank you.
Yes, yes, the very current email, because I'm certain that he was talking about a recent Godzilla movie and not Godzilla from 2000.
Yeah, exactly.
He was talking about the 2000 Godzilla?
Actually, I don't know. I mean, we've had a lot of Godzilla movies in the past,
Ooh.
like 10 years, so it's hard to say.
If it's one,
I guess
wait,
it
not
could have been
2000.
called-
What was it? 97, wasn't it?
The Matthew Broderick one was 98.
Okay, yeah, no.
There was
no.
a Godzilla 2000.
God.
Then there was,
I guess I have completely blanked out the
As you
recent, like
should.
2014.
and then you got like the reboots with like Bryan Cranston, the Godzilla one from 2015.
Yeah, those are fun. I enjoy those.
Then there's
And
Godzilla
there's also
versus
Shin
Kong,
Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla. See, there's a lot to choose from. It could have been
like
any
those.
of those. Could have
A
been
lot.
any of those.
Any of them.
Any of them.
Yeah,
Last-
my mind, of course, goes to the 98 Godzilla.
Hey, that's probably
Poor
the best.
Bubbawheat was-
That's the
was
best one.
ruined.
I think
Yeah,
that's the
I
last
said it.
one that I saw.
I said it. There's nothing wrong with that Godzilla. God damn it. I am defending it. All right, last question. My boyfriend gets angry at video games. My current boyfriend is perfect. He has absolutely zero flaws. Then he gets angry when he loses at video games. He'll typically bang his desk and yell something really loudly, usually, "What the fuck?" Or,
Yeah.
"This game is stupid," or something. It scares me a lot and triggers something inside of me. It makes me very upset, and sometimes I'll start crying. Additionally, it's typically risky to talk to him when he's mad at the game because the anger will get directed toward me. For example, I'll say something like, "It's okay," or "Yeah, the game is dumb." And he'll just tell me to shut up because he takes it as an insult. I've communicated my feelings about him getting angry at video games. He knows and understands that it upsets me. He feels really bad about it and usually will get sad afterward because he feels bad for hurting my feelings or scaring me. He absolutely hates himself for it, but cannot seem to get better at controlling his emotions. Any advice? Yes. Before you guys say, when he is playing the video game, just leave. Because what's going to happen is, he's going to get upset. Like, if he gets upset every time he plays a video game, he's going to get upset. And so you should just leave. Or, and maybe I'm going to steal Lisa's answer, maybe he should play peaceful video games. Maybe you should do Animal Farm. Or, what's that one, Lisa? Stardew Valley?
Animal Farm is a book by George Orwell.
Or what the
I
fuck
think
ever.
You mean Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that.
But
Or,
yes,
Animal
Stardew
Farm,
Valley
the
is
popular video game that came out in 2020. You get to
That's
play as, communist animals on a farm.
That is funny.
You get to play a snowball. It works out. No. Suggest that he plays peaceful video. Maybe, when he starts pulling out like the Grand Theft Auto, don't be around him. And then maybe suggest, hey, I hear this Stardew Valley game is kind of neat. We should play this together. I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think?
I honestly feel like this is something like most people have this kind of anger problem when it comes to certain video games. I mean, if he calms down within half an hour of playing, then just, put him in his bubble, let him do his thing and just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this may surprise you, but I have definitely been one of those people.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never like thrown a controller at the TV, but especially like whenever I was a teen, I've definitely like banged a controller against my leg, whenever I'm losing,
Yeah.
and like just gotten extremely mad. And like whenever you're in that headspace, like if somebody interrupts you, like you're basically seeing red, and it doesn't matter. And yeah, the advice is just to leave him alone, and not be in that space where he's like, if you can see him start to get upset, either like one of two things. I know it's difficult depending on the type of game that he's playing, because sometimes the anger is like a hair trigger. You're doing good, and then, like if you're playing like a first person shooter, you're doing good, and then suddenly you die out of nowhere, then that's like an instant trigger to trigger your anger.
yeah.
So it's not like you can see it building and then you can like try to calm him down and get him to step away. But like in those sorts of situations, just not be around him, because it sounds like it is just directed at the video game.
Oh yeah.
And not directed at her. And that's it's something that you just have to realize that is a situation, and you can enjoy a video game 90% of the time, but it can still trigger that 10% of extreme anger. And it's not necessary. It is a fault with the video game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't still enjoy the other 90% whenever you're having fun.
I agree. Yeah, exactly. When I was I don't know, 12, 13, I had a Sega Genesis, and I got Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And all I did in between school and homework was fucking play that. And to anyone who's played Sonic the Hedgehog 2, there is a stage at the end where you're on a flying ship, and that is by far the fucking most frustrating level of any video game that I have played, because you can fall off that fucking thing, or you can run into blades, or you can fly off of it from fans. It is so aggravating. And beating the final boss is really hard until you know the pattern. But I was like, fucking hell, will this guy fucking die already? So I was one also who would be like playing this stuff, and I'd just be, verbally shouting, but I never got like, I threw my controller or punched the TV or anything like that. So I would just say, what the fuck, like 1,000 times. And that was how I got my frustration out. So.
Yeah, I think even relatively recently, I got, The Witcher. I was playing The Witcher, and, I wasn't that, like, I was very rusty on these kind of, action style of video games. And so, like, I got to the first big, like, group battle where I'm fighting a big group of enemies, and I just couldn't get past it. Like, I kept dying, and I got, to the point where I got, I am older and I'm better able to control my anger, but I got to the point where I like just, tossed the controller on the, in front of, like on the couch in front of me, and I had to step away and like, okay, I need to turn this off for a little while because I'm getting too wrapped up in this game.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, thank you guys for helping our listeners. Those were real listeners that we had who wrote in. If you got a problem like that, we'll solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it, and email us at whateverjsoto@gmail.com, and we may help you out in the future. So, Bubba, you are a fun guest. Thank you so much for being here. You do Lyrical Innuendo, which can be found on Rabbit Hole Podcast, but let's go ahead and talk about your non-Rabbit Hole podcast for a minute. Tell us all about that one.
Sure. My other podcast that I've been doing for a couple of years now, it's called It's Time to Rewind. And, I kind of break it down into different seasons. Each season, I kind of switch between a movie or a TV show. And the connecting thread to everything that I cover is it involves time loops in some way. So the first season, I covered Groundhog Day. the second season, I covered several episodes of The Twilight Zone, the ones that featured time loops specifically, or at least something resembling a time loop. The third season, I picked, several smaller movies, Triangle, Time Crimes. And then I went to Buffy and Angel. They each had a time loop episode. And the one that I'm currently doing, which, Lisa has actually joined me as a co-host for a portion of it, is Memento, which it's not exactly a time loop movie, but it's kind of a time loop movie. The way I explain it is like, the main character, Leonard, he's kind of in his own time loop because he's basically repeating the day after his injury where he got this short-term memory loss over and over again. Yeah. And we're kind of put in his head through the movie, and it's in a weirdly split up in a weird chronological, and not chronologically. And so the color scenes basically work backwards, and then they're split up with black and white scenes that move forward chronologically. And Lisa joins me for all the black and white scenes.
I do.
Okay, cool. All right, well, go check that out. It's a great podcast. I've been on it a bunch. Definitely a fun time. So thank you, Bubba, for being a guest. You're welcome always. So with that said, let's wrap up the show. Whatever with Jason Soto is hosted by me, Jason Soto, and Lisa Sally Haynes. I can be found on Twitter at Famous Comedian, on Instagram at I'm_Famous Comedian, or you can email the show with any questions, complaints, or lawsuits to whatever jasonsoto@gmail.com. Go check out our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/rabbitholepod, and follow Rabbit Hole Podcast on Twitter at RabbitHP. And you should also just go to rabbitholepodcast.com. That is where you can find every single show on the Rabbit Hole Podcast Network, including Bubba show, including Lisa's book club show, including maybe one or two other shows that I do. I keep it light. I'm not on there very often. RabbitHolePodcast.com. You can find this podcast on Spotify, Amazon. If you go, Alexa, play whatever with Jason Soto, it will play the latest episode of whatever. We're also on Apple and Google, so if you're into those kind of things, you sick freak, or you can check us out anywhere you get awesome podcasts. The mixtape intro song was made by our dear pal Lackey. Thank you, Lackey, for making a song. You're awesome. The beginning and ending theme song is Liam Lynch's United States of Whatever from the album Fake Songs. I'm sorry, YouTube, you not get to hear that because it is copyrighted, and I accidentally put it in last week's episode, and boy, oh boy, did I get a strike. YouTube is not forgiving, let me tell you. Even if I was like, I'm sorry, YouTube, I'm sorry.
Naughty.
They're like, how dare you?
I'm not here. See what happens when I'm not here.
Quit leaving the country. The show is made possible thanks to our Patreon members.
Yeah.
I love our Patreon members. I want to marry every single one of them. Chris R. from aftercredits.com. Thank you so much to Chris R. The Vern from Cinema Recall, and Tales from the Double R. Thank you so much to the Vern. The mysterious benefactor who is now home, Silent Partner. I hope you are resting back in your own bed. Silent Partner, thank you. Nimrod Forrest, thank you so much to Nimrod Forrest. Carl, thank you so much, Carl. Hope you're doing better. Richard Kirkham, thank you so much to Richard. Bear, who is, still a friend, still here, just not right now. Thank you, Bear. Sherry Coons, thank you so much to Sherry Coons. Brenda, I want to thank Brenda so much. I gotta bring Brenda onto whatever, because her dynamic fits so well with this show. Holy shit. And finally, Isabel. Thank you so much to Isabel. You are becoming like our number one fan, and I appreciate you as always. So thank you all to the Patreon people. You guys fucking rock. You out there listening can also rock by going to patreon.com/rabbitholepods. $3 a month will get you in, and you can listen to episodes really early. Really, really, like, there's an episode from like 2025 that's in there somewhere. I'm sure you can root for it. It's in there. You'll find it. And a lot of other great bonus stuff. We're going to record a bonus content thing in a minute here. You can go check that out. Patreon.com/rabbitholepods. All right, Lisa, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. You're cool.
I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. I missed you. That is going to do it for this episode. Everyone out there listening and watching, I appreciate you as well. Wash your goddamn hands and keep your head in the clouds and your feet in the mud. Adios. Copyright 2023 Rabbit Hole Podcasts, rabbitholepodcasts.com.